guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. Today we're going to go ahead and take a look at this INT GOTENKS right here. So this GOTENKS just got an EZA from an EZA area. We can go ahead and see how good he's going to be. I don't think that this guy is going to be particularly great or anything like that, but I mean, maybe he could be solid in some spots. We're going to start out on the Fuse Fighter team, the LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta 200% team. Now, GOTENKS is not on a 200%. He is on the Fuse Fighter team, but he doesn't do the Kamehameha, so he's not on Kamehameha. This is looking really bad for GOTENKS. So he's at 93k defense. He gets 50% attack and defense start a turn, another 50% attack and defense for 5 turns, then he gets 100% attack and defense on Super. So, I mean, that'll push him up to, what, like 180k, something like that, like 186k defense. Then he's going to get the 30% defensive super attack effect. So he's going to be like right around 200k. 200k defense is low after supering, and considering he's only got it for the first 5 turns. And in terms of his links, I mean, this is a good rotation for him, right? Saiyan Warrior Race, Saiyan Lineage, Innocence, Shocking Speed, Fuse Fighter, Over in a Flash, Shattering the Limit are his links. And we have everything activated here except for Innocence. Innocence, which is just an attack link, right? Saiyan Lineage, Fuse Fighter, Shocking Speed, Shattering Limit all give defense. We have all those activated. This is a 170% team. I don't know. Let's see what his damage is. GOTENKS gets 30% attack and defense from a super attack effect and greatly lowers enemy defense. He also gets another 50% attack and defense if the enemy is in a defensive down status. So if he supers, puts the debuff on Gokua, 2.79. If he additional supers right here, which he does have built-in additionals in this kit, he did, but it was only a normal. He would have done extra damage. Yeah, that's a little low. He has an additional that's a medium chance of being a super when facing only one enemy. AGL GOTENKS is another character who will work fairly well here with him. With the INT GOTENKS. We'll do a couple of runs, because this is definitely a character we're going to want to see a variety of different situations for, but already, just at the start, this INT GOTENKS does not look too impressive to me, because he's not doing anything that would make you want to run him, right? It's just attack and defense is all he's got. Like Tarble, let's directly compare GOTENKS to Tarble. Tarble has got dodge, way more effective than just raw defense most of the time. Tarble's got the dodge, and then he also, of course, has got the support and orb changing and stuff like that, right? If this GOTENKS was supporting as well as everything he's doing, I'd probably like him a little bit better here. Okay, so on this rotation, we have all 7 links active. We got everything. Everything is up. Wait, actually, let me just double check if Gogeta or Whirus debuff. I feel like Gogeta might lower defense. Let me just quickly double check this. And I think Whirus definitely does. Gogeta stacks attack. Okay. And then Whirus does lower defense. Hopefully Whirus does not one-shot this Bojack. So what we could do right here, we have all 7 links activated, right? We go ahead and give Whirus all these key spheres. Actually, let me take a look. Because I'd like to do as minimal amount of damage with Whirus as possible while still getting his support. So we just need to get 3 key spheres for Whirus to get his support. That will give Fusion or Realm of God category allies 30% attack and defense. GOTENKS, of course, is on the Fusion category. Okay, perfect. So let's just grab these right here. So he will lower Bojack's defense. This is like a perfect turn for GOTENKS. This is like as good as it's going to get for GOTENKS, basically. Because we're going to debuff Bojack right here. Whirus has the support. We have all 7 links activated. Again, this is like the turn for GOTENKS. So let's see what he does right there. He was at, what, 100k right there at the start of turn. So it's like with the extra 50% from the enemy being debuffed, I mean, he potentially could be up, what, over like 250k defense, maybe closer to 300. Let me see what he gets right here in terms of attack stat. 4.46, so it did definitely jump up quite a bit. That extra buff when the enemy is debuffed, that we saw really factored in, because he jumped all the way up to 4.5 right there. Remember, he does have the additional as a medium chance of being a super against one enemy as well. Let's do a couple more rotations with this this Gotenks here, and let's just sort of see how he looks. Alright guys, let's go ahead and take a look at how we're going to do. We're just running the same team back. You guys know how I'm sort of playing Dokkan right now. I don't really like to use teams that I don't really think that their leader skill is good enough. Obviously, Fuse Fighters is a team that is good enough, you know, with the LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta as, you know, the leader right there. Yeah, we're looking good. But this is the main team I feel like I want to use this Gotenks on. Some of these other teams are just not there yet. I mean, Youth is... No, because INT Gotenks, he gives the full 170% to special pose, right? INT Gotenks. Yeah, 4 key and 170% to special pose. And then Dokkan Fest Kid Goku only gives one. Dude, Youth doesn't have anything better than a 150% lead. That's insane. Okay. Sure, let's see how Gotenks does right here. With the Super Saiyan 3 Xeno Gotenks, we have Innocence, Shocking Speed, Fuse Fighter, Over in a Flash, and Shattering Limit activated. One thing about this INT Gotenks, Fuse Fighter, Shocking Speed, and Over in a Flash is, I guess, interesting. I mean, this Gotenks will work better, you know, with Over in a Flash, with like some of the Vegito Blues and Gogeta Blues and stuff like that. That might be a thing sort of later on, right? Like once those characters get better. Right now, I don't think a lot of the Vegito Blues and Gogeta Blues are really that good. I mean, like, physical Vegito Blue is okay, right? Like, he could still put in some work if you have, like, him sort of, like, protected from being hit by a super attack, or he's not getting hit by type disadvantage or something like that. Even in the red zone, he could be okay. But a lot of these other, I feel like, Over in a Flash, like fusions are not the greatest. I guess you do have, the Super Saiyan 4 Gogetas, who are definitely both quite good, right? Now, this is unfortunate. Really, all the units I kind of wanted to pair with Gotenks are kind of on this rotation, right? I really want to get that EGL Gotenks next to him. Maybe, like, EGL Gotenks, the Weirus, and then INT Gotenks or something like that. I don't know. We'll do a few turns here. I really should probably go into an event and see what Gotenks looks like once we get past turn 5 as well. I feel like that'll be pretty important to see, right? Like, so like turn 8, what is Gotenks' stats and stuff like that looking like? All right, so sure, we'll just get this turn right here. I don't know. I feel like this Gotenks is definitely a miss. I think he is. They should have given him, so like just like the way his stats are looking right now, they should have then given him something special, right? Like, I feel like if this guy was just like a rainbow orb changer along with what he's got going on. Okay, there we go. We got the additional super attack. So he debuffed, he defensive debuffed, and then the additional super attack kicks in, and then he gets the extra stats and extra defense, right? And remember, I mean, every super attack he does is giving him 30% attack and defense as well. And then he also got the extra 50% attack and defense, because on the second super, Raditz had his defense lowered right there. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's just keep getting rotations for Gotenks. All right, guys, let's get a few more turns here. And then I think I do want to get at least a rotation or two where the 5 turns have worn out for Gotenks' passive. I don't know, maybe this guy could be useful in, like, Battlefield. I guess there are a lot of super INT units, right? Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, you have INT UI Goku, you know, you have INT Super Gogeta. You do have a bunch of characters on Super INT that are good, that have, like, Over in a Flash and stuff like that. So maybe, you know, Gotenks can sort of pair with them. But, yeah, I just feel like a unit designed in this fashion, in this day and age, with, like, nothing besides just, like, he's got some attack numbers here, he's got some defensive numbers here. I don't think that's really going to make this guy look particularly great. He will age incredibly fast, right? It's like, maybe for like a free-to-play unit, like some of his damage numbers are okay, considering he's going to have, you know, built-in additionals. As long as you're going against one enemy, he has built-in additionals, which is definitely good. But you know, I would like his defense to be a little bit higher. Just because it's a free-to-play unit does not mean their defense needs to be, you know, a 200k level and stuff like that. I think, you know, free-to-play units that can actually, like, hold their own in red zone would be good. It's just, you know, summonable units are the ones taking off 50 health bars. That would be fair. But I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not the biggest fan of this Gotenks. This is a similar concept, I feel like, to the LR Gohan, Kid Trunks, and Kid Goten from the anniversary, where it's just raw stats on a free-to-play character. What are Gotenks' stats? I mean, 13,500 attack. That's similar-ish to some banner units. Banner units are usually around 14,000-ish. Defense at 8,800, I think, is a little bit low. But I'm not really too impressed by the numbers that we're seeing here without any sort of anything else. Orb changing, support, damage reduction, dodge, guard, right? Like scouter, healing, you know, anything like that. Just something extra besides just stats would be very good for these types of characters, for sure, for sure. All right, guys, let's get this rotation right here. Let me see what our boy Gotenks will be able to put up. This is going to have us with all 7 links activated, and of course we have the solid support from AGL Gotenks as well. After this turn, I want to come back once we are, again, I'm maybe like turn 7 or 8 or something like that, and see what Gotenks looks like once that buff has sort of worn out, right? Like once we no longer have his buff up for the first 5 turns. I really don't think they needed to give him a 5-turn restrictive buff. I feel like that was kind of an L that didn't need to be there, but I don't know. Again, it's just because a unit's free to play does not mean they need to be mid. That's it. They don't have to be like a 0 immediately, right? Because it's like if you make this Gotenks really good, imagine this Gotenks was as good as version Z Goku or something like that. That doesn't change the landscape of these teams. It does not, like, you're not gonna stop using, like, Blue Vegito, if you love him, like, to push Gotenks onto the team, right? Like, fusions are the most popular characters. So I feel like they very easily could have just made this Gotenks way, way better. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get this rotation for Gotenks. So we have reached the point where we have worn off his 5-turn buff. The extra 50% attack and defense from the 5-turn buff is gone. We can go ahead and get the support and all that stuff. Of course, we have all of Gotenks' links activated. So this is him just after the 5 turns is up with all of his other buffs up, right? Because even the Zamasu has his defense lowered. So we could see the extra 50% attack and defense if the enemy does have their defense lowered as well. So let's see what Gotenks is. I guess we can get one more, 3.49 right there. So it drops about, what, a million? Because the same rotation was like 4.4 before, right? Let me do one more turn. Let's see what Gotenks does when the enemy doesn't have their defense debuffed. Why don't we go ahead and get that? So let's just go ahead and finish off this EGL Rose real fast right here. And then we'll go ahead and take a look at what Gotenks gets on the next turn, and we'll finish up. So let me know what you guys are thinking about INT Gotenks. I think they fumbled with this dude. It's like, you know, he could put up some, like, okay numbers, I guess, but it's just, I don't know. It's this type of unit, it just ends up being nothing, right? I mean, this Gotenks maybe could be good for, like, EZA areas or something like that, potentially. But it's like, I kind of got to stretch to, like, find, like, the really good spots for him, right? Alright, so let's see what Gotenks does on this turn right here. We'll have everything active except for Saiyan Warrior Race and Saiyan Lineage. And we can go ahead and get a little bit of the support type buff from Weirus as well. So, alright, Gotenks, what is the attack set going to be? Getting the Dokkan attack doesn't really matter here. 2.51. Yeah, that's not... Even with additionals, I mean, that is low. I don't know, man. Poor Gotenks. Because I feel like Tarbell's solid, right? Like, I really like the dodge and support and orb changing, right? He's doing a bunch of stuff like that while putting up, honestly, some similar attack sets to this Gotenks. But this Gotenks is just, you know, attack, defense. That's it. Alright, this is Unstoppable Combo Gotenks. His leader skills the Fusion category key 3 and 77% of stats, or Int type key 3 and 50% of stats. His super attack is the Wolf Fang Volleyball Fist. which raises attack and defense by 30% for 1 turn, does supreme damage to the enemy, and then greatly lowers enemy defense. His passive skill, Strength Testing, gives him 50% attack and defense at the start of turn. Then he gets another 50% attack and defense for 5 turns from the start of turn. Then he gets another 100% attack and defense on super attack. Then he launches an additional attack, guaranteed additional, that has a medium chance, a 30% chance of being a super attack when you're fighting 1 enemy. And then finally, he gets an additional 50% attack and defense if the target enemy is in the defensive down status. His links are Saiyan Warrior Race, Saiyan Lineage, The Innocence, Shocking Speed, Fuse Fighter, Over in a Flash, and Shattering the Limit. 12 key multiplier is 140%. In terms of EZs he could help out, there actually is the Tech Super Saiyan, or like the Tech Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks EZA. He would definitely be good there. And then finally, our boy Gotenks is on a few category teams here. So for starters, he's on the Fusion category, definitely a lot better after the anniversary. He's also over here on the Hybrid Saiyan category team, definitely a fairly solid team. Here he is on the Youth category team as well. Then we also have him on Special Pose, which I guess could use any unit it gets for sure. He's also over here on the Gifted Warrior category team. Then he is also on, what is this, Time Limit? Yeah, this is the Time Limit category. And then finally, we have the Fuse Fighter category. So, let me know what you guys think about this EZA free-to-play INT Gotenks. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.